Saturday night. That's right, it's SMASHMOUTH Saturday night. Y'all already know. Welcome. I'm your play-by-play best friend SKIP LLOYD here with Commissioner Chris Back. What do you think about this one tonight, Back?
Tonight's going to be lit up with fireworks from the beach bombers.
You're not kidding. It is loud in here. But we have got a game on our hands, and we have got some keys to the game for the Surf. They have to let Dennis Huggins do his thing, but they also have to look out for Earl Rose on the Bombers, and they have to get up the seams to find the tight ends. Meanwhile, if the Bombers keep the ground game, pressure Huggins, and let Stanley Jenkins be Stanley Jenkins, they're going to have themselves quite a game.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Honolulu, I do believe Porter is still injured, so that's going to hinder their run game a lot.
So they have got to rely on their playmakers, and the best amongst them would probably be those tight ends. They got Little, and they traded for Hendrickson, I believe, mid-season, so they've got a solid tight end room.
Yeah, they're definitely a power team, so let's see how the Bombers' defense is going to take it.
And there is so much to be ready for here tonight, but we know that the Surf have got a lot to put up with. They are 4-6, clawing their way out of a hole after a 0-year Rivals Cup run that they fell just short of. This season seems to be slipping away.
Yeah, they're looking at like a mid-tier draft pick right now, and that's insane after the year they had last season.
Huggins throws on 2nd and 10, getting it complete for a nice pickup of 9.
And that's one of the questions we keep getting asked, the most is who needs quarterbacks in the pro league? And you're looking at one right here with Huggins in the Surf. He's a 10-year vet. He rolls out here. But he's a 10-year vet. He's probably going to be gone in the next 1 to 3 years, if not this year. And he would definitely be a team if someone's interested. Good team for a rebuild and a good team for a rookie quarterback.
You're right about that. There is so much opportunity, especially when you consider what they have on the injury report with their halfback situation. Meanwhile, speaking of a guy who knows how to run the ball, tell us about Stanley Jenkins and the kind of player he's been for the Bombers so far this season.
I mean, look right there, 19 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. He's smart. He doesn't have the big flashy numbers that Frost has with the Bombers, but he's a smart, reliable player, and he's going to put the ball where it needs to be.
Right there, actually throwing a potentially dangerous pass along the line, trying to find Jonathan Wiley, but he does not.
I was going to say, as he makes me look like an idiot. Thank you, Mr. Jenkins.
Well, he has got a 2nd and 10 here just outside their own 20. Bombers wearing black tonight, back in black, but also back down at the line of scrimmage on that run attempt there. 3rd and 10.
I'm curious to see how many shots Jenkins takes with Earl Rose, which has got to be the fumble. Which has got to be the fumble of the year with the Albuquerque Dukes letting Earl Rose go. And now let it sit at that because we've taken some shots at him already this year. But Earl Rose has got to be just the coin flip of the year with not a great start with the Dukes, and then just lighten it up from the second he touched the field from the chemistry with those.
I was gonna say that's a great point, because actually at the time you would almost say that the Dukes got the better of the trade. It's only since he's lit it up becoming a Bomber. He was basically invisible with the Dukes, so you got to give the GM Shelby a little bit of credit there, because at the time he was able to get some valuable capital for an asset that wasn't really doing him any good and was looking for a massive contract extension.
Yeah, absolutely. As you saw in that previous play, this team, the Surf, right here too, man. Great run.
Don't call me a backup. Wilkins absolutely says with Porter down, next man up.
They are built with a power offense, and they just shove it down people's throats right there.
You saw someone in the chat suggesting that perhaps the Surf could be a team that trades for Andrew Frost, which seems to be, as the season closes out, we're looking at playoff seeding and we're looking at draft capital seeding for who might be able to trade for that X-Factor quarterback.
Yeah, you see Fry in the chat. That's the Tokyo Riots GM and head coach, and he's done a great year with the Riot. If they get some speed out there on the corners, who knows what they can do.
Oh, intercepted. Huggins not getting the look he wants from his receiver. And that is going to be Brandon Albert on the perimeter, getting a sticky picky.
Climbing the ladder on that one. Look at this play, man. Look at that vertical.
Yeah, he must have played for CFD in a past life because he was certainly climbing the ladder. You're right.
Great play, great read, great defense right there. There's not much, as you see right there. MVP, we got the teams wrong there. But
well, we'll have to yell at the graphics guy in the truck.
Yeah.
But Jenkins is in that conversation, but probably just as an honorable mention. At this point, I don't know. What do you think it would take for Andrew Frost not to win MVP?
Right now, I think it's Frost MVP to lose, and I think it's Trent Curtis's to win.
Really? You think Curtis is a dark horse? They had Crothers and Jenkins as the others in contention, so Curtis wasn't even on the list as far as the graphics truck was concerned.
I think Curtis and Ed Silva have a Jenkins and Earl Rose connection, and Silva's on every. Jenkins gets hit hard right there. But Silva's on every single award that he can be on, and you don't do that without having a great quarterback.
That's true, and when you talk about a team to potentially take over, the Sharks could be quite a selection. Well, you may have to play the Brawlers and the Bombers twice a season. Ed Silva, Trent Curtis, and not a great catch for Earl Rose there.
There's the shoestring tackle for nothing, or the shoestring catch for nothing. Yeah, Crothers with the Fury's great, man. He had a good game this week too today.
In any other year, Crothers probably would be the front runner for MVP.
Absolutely. Frost is just having a phenomenal year.
Well, it's interesting because this is year one, so technically every record is about to be written. Not even broken, just written. But you got to wonder, at the pace Andrew Frost is on, that might be a record that stands for a very long time when it talks about 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, I mean, another record that may never be broken again is when is Jenkins going to throw an interception?
Incredible.
What's his TD to interception ratio going to be at the end of the season?
Well, it's 19-0 right now.
This defense, everything about the Virginia Beach Bombers, they had a little slump there in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
But you know what? The only team this season to beat Andrew Frost in Buffalo.
It's crazy when you think about it. On the flip side of that, in the Nexus conference, the Dukes are one of the only teams to beat the Fury.
Incredible. It just shows you the talent potential week to week, week in, week out. Teams that we thought were going to be near the top, like the Surf, are struggling to get to the middle. And meanwhile, you got a guy like Stanley Jenkins leading the league, or tied with superstar George Burrell for rushing touchdowns from the quarterback position.
Yeah, George Burrell, he's having a great season this year. He's a good field general type style quarterback who just neither quarterback are making great decisions.
Yeah, both guys struggling a little bit here out of the gate. Maybe the prime time spotlight shining a little too bright, so they got to adjust those visors and get ready. Jenkins has the ball. Man, they're going a lot out to the flats. Incomplete. Better off, really, that Wiley drops it there.
Yeah, and Wiley's one of those running backs. He's quietly had a pretty good year, but he just doesn't look like a running back when you watch him. But he's had a pretty good season so far.
Screen pass.
Just set up the screen with him.
And he's got the block, and he's going to get enough room to get the first down. That is a big play, I believe, for the rookie. The backup running back there is that Brett Owens.
It was Owens, yeah.
And great block out into space by your left guard. Make a play.
That was a great setup and great execution. I'm not a fan of screens at all, but that was a great executed screen right there.
They're running a lot of screen stuff to start this first quarter. That
I think
time
they're trying to
finally.
roll the serve.
There
Oh!
you go, Earl Rose near the boundary, cutting back inside and getting up past the 50.
Fight, man. Earl Rose is a beast. If he's not on your radar and you're a GM, we're going to have to talk.
Did they re-sign him yet? Do we know?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I'm going to say as of airtime that he has not re-signed yet, so still anyone's guess as to whether or not he stays on the team, but with plays like that back-to-back, you got to think the Bombers are going to pony up the cash to keep Earl Rose.
Yeah, there's no way they let this guy go. I mean, look at that catch.
Full extension.
Playing outfield and center field right there.
Wiley finally getting up there a little bit. Was that Levi back on the tackle there?
I believe it was, yeah. Levi back, he's a rookie, free safety out of Georgia. He played with McNamara's senior year.
Owens getting room, daylight off the left side, all the way down inside the 10 to the 6-yard line.
That's Owens again.
Owens, real change of pace. They were expecting a heavy dose of Wiley, and now they're sprinkling in Owens both times. Must have found something they liked, because both times Owen has made plays. It's been off that left side.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Salt Lake City Sting with they've been running a lot of Ricky Rice, getting him in there this last couple of weeks.
Shifting. Jenkins has room and he runs it in, walks it in. Untouched. Touchdown, Bombers. Keeping the chains well past moving. He's as slippery as a seal in a car wash.
That was a great play. Nothing in front of him. He saw the field and just took off. I mean, Jenkins is a beast.
No thank you to the check down.
I'm not sure how old Rose is. I'd have to look. I believe he's in his mid-20s, like 27-ish, 26-ish.
Great play there. Finally getting on the board. A nice drive. 8 plays, 82 yards.
That was a great drive. Methodical. And on the flip side of that, the Surf have got to do the same exact thing. They are more of a power style team.
And they do not have that extra 6th dimension with a slippery quarterback. Ooh, and it looks like we might have an injury on the return here. Sullivan nursing his shoulder. They're checking him out on the sidelines. We'll try to get back to you with a report if there's an update. 1st and 10, shotgun set for Huggins. He's got time, getting pressured off the left side, but it is complete for a pickup of 6.
And he took his sweet time riding that wave until the very end.
Wow, walking
now they have an
wounded.
injury, another injury.
Back-to-back injuries here for the Surf. Hope the depth chart runs deep tonight. Shotgun again, 2nd and 4. Huggins bring the inside slot man to the outside. I believe that's Hendricks. And he finds him to the perimeter, but he gets tackled right where he catches it.
I hate this in football. I've never understood why you take a check down pass to someone that's got a guy just barreling down on him.
Yeah, they're playing some zone coverage, making it easy to get those bubble screens. Handed up the gut, and he's got room, makes a shifty cut, spins off a tackle. The running game is still breathing, even if it's on life support for the Surf.
That was a great play. And the Surf, if anyone ever does take over the Surf in the next season or two, I mean, I hope that they don't change the offense scheme and playbook. This is just a monster of a run team.
And they know that some of their best talent right now tonight is going to be on the ground. And like we said, at that tight end position between Preston Hendricks and, Tyreek Little. But another tackle by this stingy Bombers secondary. Forcing a loss of 3 as we've got just over 2 minutes left here in the first quarter as Huggins is under center. Hands it off, up the gut, tries to make a shift, but Wilkins is brought down by Lowry.
This is the best spot, the furthest down they've made it this far in this game. So let's see if they can get into the Bombers' territory.
Dennis tries running it himself, just getting past the 50, but nowhere near enough on that 3rd and long. They're just over the 50, and they are clearly going to have to punt the ball.
Yeah, I mean, nothing downfield. Huggins, who's not a runner at all, just tucks the ball and takes off.
It's almost like giving up at that point, because you know he doesn't have the wheels and the shiftiness to get the 15 yards there on third down.
Yeah, and like Coach Fry just said in the chat, running teams, power teams, they can't fall behind early, so they need this defense to step up and shut Jenkins down.
And Jenkins is feeling himself, walking back out with a little bit of swagger, and he's going to start under center here. Drops back, quick pass. Ooh, man.
That was almost 6 points.
Both defenses stingy at the line. Secondary's not giving up any room. 2nd and 11, handoff up the gut to Wiley. He's got a chunk. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
And that's probably going to be the end of the thing.
I think so. And what a first quarter we have on our hands.
Yeah, and if you're the
Virginia Beach.
I was going to say, if you're the Virginia Beach Bombers, you don't change anything. Everything's working. Maybe take some more shots downfield and get off these screen plays, but the surf, I mean, you're only down by 7, so you honestly can't ask for anything better going into the second quarter.
Absolutely. The game is still very close. Jenkins 3rd and 5, looking to make a move, against brought down by Randall for the sack. Somebody get a body bag in here.
With the old school, no sleeves, no gloves, no tape. Thank you, Mr. Randall. Great play.
Yeah, he's going to get some extra love for that. Mr. Old School getting a tough sack. The Surf really needed a play by their defense there, and they're hoping that Wilkins can continue to perform like a starter, which goes to show you, as good as Porter is, this could just be also a great scheme, a great system, as you were saying before, almost a plug and play. And if you can go from Porter to Wilkins and have him run for 9.2 yards, then you can certainly stand to see when a receiver gets to open downfield and converts for a big first down chunk. Huggins finds his man down the left sideline.
Yeah, a big shot, and that's what it does, man. It opens up the field and take these shots.
That's right.
Play.
That's right.
Love to see it from the Surf. I want to see some blood on the field, man. Take some shots. Let's get some points on the board.
Under center, 1st and 10. Play action. He's booting a little bit around to the right. Finds Preston Hendricks, but loses 2 yards as another rookie safety, Doug Haas, comes flying up to make the tackle. Haas, really a gem, a great 2nd-round draft pick for the Bombers.
From the Ohio State University.
That's right. Play action, but he doesn't feel the pressure off the side. Lets it go, and it's fumble. He's got it, he's scooped, he's running. Is he going to get brought down? He is. Just in time. But a huge play nonetheless for the Bombers defense. Just as the Surf were starting to find a groove and a rhythm, it's disrupted. Huggins makes the first man miss, but then makes the cardinal sin of squeezing the ball too tight.
Screaming down the field on the blitz right there. I think that was a corner blitz.
As you can hear, it is a madhouse in here. And now they're out of the shotgun, doing a little trickeration. He's got room up the sideline for a big first down. Huge play for the Bombers there, really moving the momentum pendulum all the way forward.
I thought it was going to be like last week where we saw the swing pass out to the tight end.
That was a wild play. He's got him at the sideline, and that is still a healthy chunk of 5. They are in red zone scoring territory, and they can still get a first down from here at 2nd and 5 at the 11 if they get to about the 5-yard line. Hand off to Wiley, powering his way forward, brought down by a wave of defenders for the Surf.
The Surf, they're just reeling right here. It looks like they're going to send the blitz off the left side.
3rd and 2 out of a pistol. Jenkins finds his man. It's his tight end in the flat. And that is a first down. Like we said, didn't need to score. Still could have gotten the first down. They have got it, 1st and goal from the 2.
Honolulu needs to strap up here and put some helmets on some chins off the line of scrimmage.
Jenkins got time. He's trying to run it up. Wow, careful.
There's our man Randall, saving the day.
Stanley Jenkins out of an empty set formation. He's looking around. He's going to run it right away, trying to power his way forward. Maybe too predictable at this point, down by the goal line.
I don't think Jenkins ever stood up on that play pre-snap.
No, he was ready to run right away.
Leaned forward like a halfback.
And he hands it off this time. Oh, Wiley can't get there.
Goal line stand by the Surf. Great
4th
defense.
and 2. And an injury along the line. Their guard, not what you want there. They are going to settle for the field goal from the lefty.
And you only gave up 3 points, presuming they don't miss, which we have seen a lot of missed field goals.
Well, not that time.
Nope.
That would have been quite the miss.
You never know. But you survived. You gave up 3 points, only down by 10.
That is huge. Huge momentum. Talk about how the pendulum was swinging. The Surf caught it, and like Atlas are trying to push it back up like the weight of the world. And some of that pressure is falling down on the shoulders of James Wilkins, filling in for a phenom at running back. Jeremiah Porter still out on the injury list.
Listen to that, guys. Mr. Skip Lloyd's getting all philosophical on us over here with Atlas and the pendulum.
Huggins hands it off to Wilkins out of the shotgun. He only gets 4, but that gets him to 50 yards on only 6 carries. What a performance by a backup here.
Yeah, I'm excited for him playing tonight. He's doing great filling in for Porter.
Out of the shotgun, he's got time. He throws it deep. He brings him down the stream. Buckner with his second catch of the night. Both of them have been for big chunks and big moments.
And getting up chippy, trying to start some crap with the defender.
And they need that. They need a little bit of heat here. And just like we said, not a great throw at all. A great adjustment by Buckner.
Great play by the receiver right there.
Behind enemy lines, inside the 40 at the 39, 1st and 10. It's a shotgun set. 7:09. He hits his tight end in the flats. Only getting a yard. Not loving that part of the playbook. Tear a couple of those pages out.
See if they take a shot right here. 2nd and 9. You're almost in field goal range.
There you go. In the seams again, finding those little soft spots.
Gotta get the first down here.
3rd and 2, 6 minutes as he snaps the ball. Huggins finds his tight end over the middle again. This dink and dunk seems to be working. More of a dunk than a dink right now.
See, the Bombers' defense is getting upset out there.
Yeah, a little bit of finger pointing. No time for that. 1st and 10. Huggins snaps again out of the shotgun. And that's a touchdown. Tyreek Little, the tight end 2, making a huge grab in traffic, taking the hit, holding on, and getting his team back into this thing.
Look at that ball placement. Boom. That was amazing. That was where only his receiver could catch that. A little bit too far on the inside, but great play by Huggins to come back, erase the turnover that you just gave, and now you're only down by the 3 from the turnover score. So great bounce back drive right there, Minnesota.
Boy, did they need that one, and now it's only a 3-point game. Tyreek Little, a veteran tight end, 33 years old. There's been talks that this could be his last season. That's partially why they traded for Preston Hendricks. But he is still a talented player. He's still got some speed for his age. As you can see, he has clearly got hands and the ability to snag him in traffic as Jenkins with a 1st and 10. Play action to Wiley, throwing it deep downfield. Earl Rose, ooh. Jenkins lucking out tonight. I think he could have thrown a couple interceptions already.
That one was a dink and a doink and a dunk, and the defender never catches it.
Again, out of an empty set here, 2nd and 10. He's got time, and he's throwing another moonshot up, and it is down the sideline, just a little bit out of bounds. Wow.
That was yours for the taking, man. He floated it too far to the outside. You got to straighten that ball up.
Jenkins still throwing it. He gets his man this time. And that is a big first down to Madden.
Moonshots aren't working, so take the frozen rope line drive right there. The second he beat his coverage.
Stanley Jenkins showing why he's one of the premier dual threat quarterbacks in the league. You gotta imagine he is certainly gonna get a big dev upgrade. He came into the season with no dev rating, just a standard rating. I imagine he will at a minimum be a superstar by the time this season's over.
Yeah, I think he's earned it. He's had a great year, and I think it depends on what the final push can be, because everybody's starting to play a little bit better as they realize we're in that back third of the season now.
That's right, and the difference for them tonight between 7-4 and 6-5 would be huge in a very tough Apex conference.
Yeah, and in both conferences, the middle, great pass.
Great catch in traffic.
The middle teams in both conferences are only separated by like 1 or 2 that we're going to see emerge as a lot of the divisional games are hitting in the next week or two.
That's right. Jenkins, play action, hits his receiver. It's his tight end, actually. Off to the right there. Big first down conversion. Now they're inside the 12-yard line. Shotgun 1st and 10. See if they snap it before the 2-minute warning. They do not.
Yeah, they've been kind of milking this clock the whole way down on this drive.
And what a game we are having so far. It is tightly contested. 10-7 here for the Bombers, but they are ready to score again. Jenkins, throwing out there to Rose. They're going to say incomplete.
Incomplete. Didn't get both. Oh, they're going to review.
Previous play is under review.
It looks like a catch to me.
I was going to say that looks good to me.
Loop, loop. 2 feet in, turn, 3 feet, 3.5 feet.
Seems like they're probably going to overturn that. They do. It's 2nd and 4.
Yeah, it's only 6 yards, but it counts.
Jenkins gets it to Wiley, who powers forward but is still stopped short of the first down. Big defensive play by Levi Back.
You're going to get another fourth down stand here, goal line stand.
Let's see, the Surf have really clinched up in the goal line here. They stick it out again, and they bring it to a 4th down play once again. Surf defense at the goal line has been incredible.
That was an amazing play. As the Surf, I think, call a timeout right there to keep the clock from ticking. Again, you held them to 3 points. That's 2 big, huge drives, and you only gave up 6 points. You're still in this game. Go down and get a score before halftime.
Absolutely. They could take the lead still.
Yeah. Just say go down, get a score before halftime, get the lead, get the momentum, and then come out. The Bombers get the ball first in the second half, so you're going to be relying on the strength, which is your defense again. Let's go.
That's right. They really want to stop relying on the leg of Daniel Falk, and they want to get some touchdowns on the Bombers sideline. Instead, watching the Surf immediately go to the air.
One move away from 6 points right there.
Wow.
That was a great play. They call timeout. They're taking their time, making sure they have the right plays called. You're in a good field position. You can take some shots while getting the first down.
Huggins drops back, throws it short to the boundary. They're going to have to go into the hurry up here. No huddle. 2nd and 6. Snaps it with just over 45 seconds. Throws it low, incomplete, but it does stop the clock, leaving them 3rd and 6 with 44 seconds.
Yeah, that might have been a thrown in the dirt on purpose to kill the clock here.
Savvy veteran quarterback move. Let's see what he does. 3rd and 6. Snaps the ball. He's trying to get away from the pass rush and just throws it away. 4th and 6. Tough.
And now you wasted drive.
It looks like Huggins is trying to keep him on the field here. Now they're going to bring the punt unit on.
If you're the Bombers, do you take a shot here, try to score before halftime?
I mean, they got 3 timeouts, so it depends on maybe if you get a look you like here.
Maybe not, as the punt lands at the 6-yard
inside the
line.
6. Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, I get it. You're the Bombers. You're feeling it. You're playing great. But you're only up by 6 guys. You might want to buckle down and get some yards here.
They come out in the shotgun and throw almost another interception. Jeez.
If the Surf defense could catch, they would be dangerous tonight.
And Jenkins staying in an empty formation here on 2nd and 10. They clearly want to try to do something. He throws it again. He gets it complete. They'll probably use a timeout there. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Great catch there.
No, I guess they're not that concerned with actually doing something here, as they are maybe going to snap it one more time before the half. Bit of a, not even a Hail Mary. Bubble screen to the sideline, and that is going to do it for the first half here in Virginia Beach. It is tighter than your grandma's homemade peach jar. You've got Stanley Jenkins and the Bombers just scratching a lead out against Dennis Huggins and the Surf. Here on SMASHMOUTH Saturday night, we are getting back into it here in the 3rd quarter. Throw those 3s up in the chat. If you stay closely tuned, the commissioner may throw out a bonus opportunity for you. So stick around. We've got a lot more action, especially because Stanley Jenkins is getting the ball back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why they didn't want to take a shot downfield. And there was no risk, no reward there. So they knew they got the ball back. They got the momentum. They've got the ball. They've got the score. They're just going to come down and try to impose their will. They set up a screen here.
Ooh, and this time it's off the right side, but Owens again making huge plays when his number is called. Limited touches, huge plays. That is a recipe for success for this rookie running back.
Like you said, they set up another screen here. Great play.
And as much as you and I have been ragging on the screens tonight, they do occasionally seem to be working for the Bombers, but only the Bombers.
I still hate them.
Same. Jenkins is back on 1st down. He's running, turns into a scrambler real fast. And, ooh, you got to wish. I think that's, wow. I was going to say Jenkins is the one you got to hope doesn't get injured, but instead you're looking at a big Surf D lineman.
You got to be embarrassed if you're the big guy coming off the field after running into a collision with the quarterback, and you get
all
injured.
5'11" of Stanley Jenkins.
Yeah.
Hands it off to Wiley up the gut, who's having an uncharacteristically quiet night. Wiley usually a much bigger presence for the Bombers.
Yeah, he was in a lot of the leader stats for a while, but he's kind of fallen off towards the end of the season here.
Oh, he's got Rose open to the left and down inside the 32, the 25. Big catch for number 3, who I did check at halftime has not yet re-signed with the Bombers, despite having an absolutely fantastic season to date.
Yeah, and that zone defense was not set up and not passed along correctly there. I mean, right off the bat, Rose was open.
He's been great. I believe he's got 7 touchdowns on the season, all since he came to the Bombers.
You stretch them out there, and that's just the Surf defenses. They're not having it. Every now and then they're letting that one big play happen, but they're playing well above their pay grade.
Absolutely. Jenkins 2nd and 12 here from about the 28-yard line, just outside of the red zone. Short completion to Butler, another rookie out of Notre Dame. Malcolm Butler?
I believe so. And it almost feels like the Bombers are playing down to the level of the Surf.
A little bit. Oh, and he finds him over the middle. Jenkins up over 200 yards now. And that's Kendricks getting a big completion back, just making the touchdown-saving tackle. They're going to have 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Jenkins in a pistol formation with Owens behind him, not Wiley. Earl Rose in the slot. They throw it to the edge, almost picked off. Boss making a big play.
He had Rose right off the jump.
I was going to say in the slot. Similar looking formation here instead. Owens to the left, Jenkins power to the left, and just like that, Stanley Jenkins, like a fork in a microwave, he is exploding tonight. His second touchdown run on the game.
Called quarterback power off the left side, and they were untouched all the way. That was a great play. Oh, they're going for 2.
Absolutely, make it 21 if you can.
Put it up
oh, and it's a direct snap to Wiley, who gets in for the touchdown. Or 2 points, not a touchdown.
I mean, that was an amazing call. I did not see that coming. I was watching the receiver at the top of the screen to see what he did. Wide open. He went untouched for the 2-point conversion. Great
Bombers
call.
showing themselves. What a classy game they're playing so far tonight. Quarterback all over the field.
Now they're slowly inching up. 2 scores ahead now, so.
And Sullivan's still not back on the return. He is ruled out for, looks like, likely the rest of the game. Huggins coming back out here, trying to get his team a little bit of a fire lit under them. They do not want to fall to 4-7 on the season.
That would be, at that point, you start getting into some insurmountable odds to make the playoffs.
Handoff up the middle. Nice run by Wilkins. They are getting 7 on first down.
This offensive line is amazing. If they're not all re-signed, Honolulu needs to get on it ASAP.
Oh, that time letting the run front come through, but they almost smelled it on the defense there.
Empty backfield.
Oh, he finds his receiver and he breaks the first tackle down the sideline and inside to around the 31-yard line. Huge play there.
That was what the Surf needed right there. Great execution. And sometimes when you're not playing right, you just need a little bit of luck. Makes a move, gets lucky, gets out of the tackle, and gets downfield for more yards.
And that was Glenn Brock, who's like the 5th receiver on the team. So big play for an unheralded player in a big moment.
Coming out 5 wide again, so he has another chance.
That time they're getting it to Arthur Dorsett, the veteran. Again, attacking the seams. They know where the soft spot is for this Bombers defense, and they are inside the red zone. 1st and 10, Huggins throws it. Oh, a little bit of confusion. They were trying to run a little bit of tight end screen action between Little and Hendricks, but got too much traffic and got caught up.
Yeah, and if he would have hit the guy coming across from the left to the right, he would have had at least a first down.
Huggins looking again, finds his man. Oh, great defensive play by Holloway, breaking up what maybe was for sure a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a great play by the defense, but that was a horrible play by the offense. They did not read the defensive coverage. That was an option receiver route. As Huggins takes off.
He's got maybe the first, just short on 4th and 1.
Go for it.
Defense there. You got to think they're going to go for it. Huggins, not known for his scrambling, and has maybe the biggest run of his life there, but still not enough for the first. Oh, they're going to settle for 3.
Take the easy points. Well, with the way their defense is playing, I guess they're going to try to rely on that a little better.
That's right. Anything is possible.
And you got to think at halftime they had their defensive backs catching footballs.
Right. Yeah.
They probably dropped what could be 3 to 4 interceptions.
Return from the 10, up past the 30. Big return there, out to the 34. Stanley Jenkins has had himself quite a night. You know, it's crazy. He's only got 387 rushing yards on the season, but 10 rushing touchdowns with his performance so far tonight.
Yeah, and you saw what they like to do. They like to pull those powers, quarterback powers, to the left or the right. He just follows the big guy. Pulling, as he slips through the hole there, Wiley does.
But it just goes to show you that Jenkins is a passer first. He's not looking to run, but he does pull it down, and he is deadly. 2nd and inches. Up the gut, finds some room off the left side, and that is a big first down. Wiley finally getting some momentum.
And Jenkins is at 20 or 21 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. So.
Off the left side, Wiley finding room, brought down by Beck in the open field. Huge first down conversion for Wiley, who seems to be powering up a little bit as we reach the later stages of the game.
And the fact that Beck is having to make so many touchdown-saving tackles deep within their own defense is concerning for this. You got to think that the surf is starting to get tired and fatigued out there.
Well, gotta say, coming into this game, their defense has not looked very good. Basically rating dead last in points as a defense, 21st in yards overall, 20th in pass yards, and 17th in rush yards. So, meanwhile, they are certainly much better on offense near the middle of the pack most places. So, clearly, you know where the Surf need work. It's on D.
Yeah, and that makes sense why they went,
nice break up there, though.
That makes sense why they went, with Beck in the first round of the draft. They had the 31st pick, so you're not going to get a superstar in that first round, but they went back with the first pick. I believe 2 or 3 of their first 3 or 4 rounds were defenses. Jenkins takes off here.
And he's got the first down. Deadly.
And he doesn't slide.
Which I know they talk about, but he's a veteran player. He says that's just how I play.
Coming out 5 wide here, empty set.
1st and 10. About 3:15 left in the 3rd quarter. Throws it, and it's wide open. Earl Rose. Give him a full bouquet. Earl Rose gets, I believe that's touchdown number 8 on the season.
And he hasn't been with them all season, so that's even more. He's had a great year. That was everything they needed on that drive.
Yet to sign that big deal with the Bombers, potentially holding out to the end of the year to see what kind of money he can make on the open market. But I don't know why you'd want to walk away from a team he's had such immediate success with.
Well, and you got to think part of it too may be with the Rivals radio episode we had a couple weeks ago that discussed everyone's pay where they were on their salary cap space. They may not have any space to sign him right now.
Well, that's a good point. I believe, if I recall from that episode, the Bombers have about $13 million total, but they have multiple players to re-sign, including 3 of their starters on the offensive line. So the Bombers certainly going to have to get creative with their salary cap if they want to hang on to Earl Rose after this season. Meanwhile, Huggins, 2nd and 10 with just over 3 minutes, throws it and almost picked off himself.
That was a bad decision there, bad pass. Just everything about that play. They have to get back in this game and they're making poor decisions right off the bat.
3rd and 10. Shotgun set. Huggins finds a man, throws it. He's going to get the first down and then some. Getting up to the 39, just short of the 40. That's Buckner making another big catch on the game. You saw him even pointing out where he needed some blocks, but there just was not enough teammates to stop the Bombers' defense. Shotgun set, 1st and 10. But no, there's a flag.
You were right. The Bombers have $13.3 million in cap space.
There you go. And you know Earl Rose is going to want more than that. 1st and 5. Complete for the first down. Buckner again getting a lot of catches on this game. Huggins 1st and 10 from about the 50. Out of the shotgun set, pointing out something. Bringing a receiver in a bit of an orbit motion. And he throws throws on that bubble screen, and there is no protection, and the defense sniffs it out, bringing him down. It's Johnson stopping him for a 4-yard loss.
They run that bubble screen. They had both guys flare out to catch that. He throws it to the guy where there's 2 defenders. His running back to the right side had no one around him.
Second and 14, throws it out to the right sideline. Gets a little bit of a chunk there, pickup, but it's going to be 3rd and 9. Shotgun set, 35-ish seconds going to be left by the time he takes the snap here. Feeling the pressure, gets it. There is a screen, but there's good blocking, and he gets it for the first down. They needed that one, and they got it. That's McCann, the 3rd string running back, coming in, making a big play on 3rd down for the first.
Yeah, as we close out the 3rd quarter here, that was a big play by the 3rd string halfback.
Throw those 4s up. We are ready to see how this one closes out. Right now, it looks like the Bombers, but you never know. The Surfer trying to make a late swim against the current.
Surfer, I mean, if they play how they've ran the last 2 series of offense, then they would be in the lead this game. Unfortunately, they haven't. They got to get it going here. They got to score fast and quick here.
Getting Hendricks for a gain of 4. You can see the Bombers near the top of the league in takeaways. They've got 2 today. But 2nd and 6 for Huggins coming up under center. Looks like, somebody's jumping. Could be the defense there.
Neutral zone infraction.
Yep, it's going to be Stephen McGill.
Maybe that's what the Surf need
Still
here to get them
second
jump
down.
started. Get down the field and score.
Leaving them with 2nd and 1 here. He's going to stay under center. Bit of a power formation. Play action. Good time to go deep, but instead he just throws it.
Wasted opportunity. Wasted opportunity.
Should have at least put it up if he had some man-on-man there, but 3rd and 1 out of the shotgun. 13:20 left in the game. Hands it off that time. He does get the first down. I believe that's McCann again. Spelling Wilkins a little bit, who's having himself a game as well. First and 10, 12:45. Huggins out of the shotgun. It's picked off. And he's gone. He's gone. There's no way they're going to catch him. He is screaming down the sidelines. 20, 10, 5. Walk it in. Walk the dog. Brian Johnson. Slam the door. Lock it tight. Good night.
He just jumped the coverage, jumped the pass. He had that read from the start, and no one's going to catch him down the field. That was a great play by the defense. And that was probably the 30th interception that should have been caught tonight, and it finally caught up to somebody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What a huge play.
Unfortunately for the Surf, it was against them, so they're going to have to come out. And this is what's bad for the Surf now, is they're down by 25 points. It's the top of the 4th. Everyone knows they're going to have to be passing now. And this is where defenses thrive.
Absolutely. Pick 6 City. Here at home, the Bombers are really closing this game up. And oh no, that does not look good there.
That's their 3rd or 4th injury tonight.
The Surf seem to be getting stuck in the turf. Maybe brought the wrong cleats. Might see a change at equipment guy. First and 10, sending his tight end in motion. He throws it to the tight end, Hendricks, who's fighting for every inch. Big target, fighting hard, but not going to be enough. That's only 6. They need a lot more.
And they're not running very fast here either.
Yikes, McGill almost offside again. Huggins getting it up the middle.
That was, 2 plays over the middle, right back to back. They're moving down the field. They're getting 8 to 10 yards per play, but they got to move faster down here. But down by 3 scores.
Absolutely. Looks like he hit Tyreek Little that time. They're just going to the tight ends here, essentially, working their way up the seams. Grumpy Nerd in the house saying that he thinks it's an obliterated ACL. You may be right about that, Nerd.
You see the surf is just, they're getting pumped and they're getting upset with each other at the same time.
At this point, yeah, they're just kind
There's
of a
10
hot
minutes
mess.
left, Huggins. You've got to take some shots downfield. There's another dump off for 6 yards.
Man, they are just working the tight ends a little too hard, I think.
Yeah, you must have blinked, Fry, because they scored a touchdown again. It was a pick 6, though.
Huggins back, throws it deep finally, but it's out of bounds.
When you take these 23-step drops that he's taken, no one's going to be open downfield. They got to hit him quick.
Yeah, they got to do some grip it and rip it here on 3rd and 4. Empty set. He does, but it's another dump off to the tight end.
And it's fine. These are fine because they're basically long extensions. They're long runs, but you got to run faster. You see the play clock was at 32 when the replay started. Let's see where it is when they come back, if they're going in the huddle or if they're running hurry up. As they're going in the huddle as it fell all the way down to 14, so they are not concerned with play clock.
They should be. Not sure what if they just think it's already out of hand. There you go, a little bit of a completion past the sticks, but again, just working the midfield, intermediate stuff. Not really taking any risky shots downfield, which you got to do as the time dwindles down.
Yeah, you saw even the receiver there. He rolled over just sluggish on the play after the catch.
Oh, Huggins puts it up that time. Way out of bounds. He's just throwing it away.
Souvenir for some kid in the stand right there. Empty set, 5 wide here. They got to take some shots over the middle. Go from left to right. That's where their strength is. It goes from right to left.
Man, these are just big time wasters.
Huddled again.
They're just absorbing clock here. Wow, Huggins. Yikes.
Now it's 4th and 4. They're going to have to go for it.
Absolutely. Man, all too content here. They must not have the belief that they can win this game. I can't explain why else. Oh, he does get the completion for 1st down.
And that puts him over 300 yards in the game, but, I mean...
He's got the 2 interceptions, though, and
who
the fumble.
Cares?
Right. 1st and
Bunch
goal.
formation down to the right side. They're pulling the tight end, and that was red from the start.
Yikes. Bombers D saying no thank you.
Both teams have been playing great red zone goal line defense tonight.
Huggins,
with the exception of the quarterback power.
Yeah, hard to stop that one. Throws it. Ooh, almost intercepted again. He knows it.
He had
hands.
the tight end open at the top of the screen from the beginning.
Oh, he does have a tight end open there. It's
Finally.
Tyreek Little again, his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Getting two touchdowns. Great play.
But is it Tyreek too little, too late?
They took 5 minutes off the clock there to score 6 points. I want to cheer for the surf, but that was very poor clock management there. And now you've got to rely on your defense to make a big stand against a very hot Jenkins offense.
You said it. Jenkins is very hot. And the offense isn't bad either.
Oh.
Onside kick.
Have we seen a successful onside kick yet?
I don't think so. The Bombers
believe
making
we-
sure we don't.
I believe we've had one.
Have we?
Yes, I believe we've had one.
Well, we've
I'll have to
seen
get
it
this-
all this season.
I'll have to get the stat keepers because I believe we saw one. Maybe it got called. I believe. Yep, that's right. I'm remembering now. It was successful, but it got called back for illegal touching.
Ah, tough. Earl Rose having a
It was
great season.
A yard too short.
Wow. 1st and 10. I imagine they're just going to run some power here with Wiley. Yep. Right up the gut. 1st down on 1st down.
12-yard carry.
Man, the Surf. I wonder if the Surf are now second-guessing the pick of Levi Back over Dennis Huggins.
Yeah, they need some help in the middle.
Oh, little bit of trickeration. And Jenkins says, I don't want to take the hit. You take the hit.
That was, we can laugh at it because they're up by so many, but that was a ridiculous play there.
Jenkins just trying to avoid taking another shot from the defense. Handing it off to Wiley, off tackle. He's got some room. 3rd and 6 after the big carry there. Man, that was a wild play right before that.
That looked like some old glitches from the old NCAA 06 or something.
Yeah. Play action, faking it, throws it over the middle, and that's a completion.
Dot.
I believe that's Hendricks getting the big clutch pickup on 3rd.
That was a dot. As the Surf all game have left Levi back just in the middle playing center field by himself.
Yeah, tough game.
He's got to figure out where the ball is going. They take a shot. He's got to find out where the ball is going and get there. And sometimes there's 2 or 3 receivers for him to choose from. Feel sorry for the kid tonight.
Jenkins got a bit of a bunch formation to the left, but he's just running Wiley up the gut, and Wiley gets it in for the touchdown.
His 2nd of the night right there.
You can call this game a Titanic because it is on ice.
This is done. So while we wait here for the extra point for the inevitable 42-17 lead, I want to take a minute. We talked about Rivals Radio earlier. There will be a new Rivals Radio episode releasing tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And it'll be another update. I believe this one is about all of the late season, where we're at right now, awards nominees, and who's leading all the voting polls and all the voting positions.
Well, that ties in nicely because we were talking a little bit about awards earlier in the game. Oh, it was a nice return here. See what the Surf do as Dennis Huggins, who certainly will not be winning any awards for his performance tonight. He's been playing not to lose, and unfortunately, that is exactly what's happened as he's been picked off a few times, fumbled it, and just all around, the yardage doesn't really matter when you're turning it over.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he should have 500 yards because they're so far behind. They're probably going to have to pass it and play. And that was a colossal mess up from the start right there.
The Surf are just exasperated at this point. Shotgun set, 2:53 left in the game. 2nd and 10. Huggins. Gets swallowed up. Montague, the big man sack. Space eater, eating quarterbacks.
God, that's got to hurt your arm, man. He stepped right into that sack mid-throwing motion.
3rd and 16, 2:18 left on the clock. Huggins looking deep, fires it, almost picked off.
Another one dropped. Skip at the end of this game, I'm going to have to go back and watch how many interceptions were dropped total by both teams.
That'd make a great recap. 4th and 16, Huggins got all the time he needs, and it's complete for the 1st down. Tyreek Little having himself a fantastic game in the face of a surefire loss. He is continuing to play like his job matters.
Yeah, at least someone showed up today. Little and, Porter's, we said he's hurt, he's injured. Porter is a big piece of this offense. But your professional football team, at some point, you got to have the next guy up mentality. You got to make some big plays, and they just failed to do that tonight.
Yeah, and even with Wilkins and McCann stepping in, it just hasn't been good enough. And you certainly think maybe things could have been different with Porter, but man, you also think the Surf really could use an outside receiving weapon.
Yeah, that seems to be the running theme in the league right now. Is a lot of teams don't have that outside speed guy, and they don't have a good run game to go to. The Surf have a good run game to bounce back on, but they need someone. Right there, they make a great play, great moves.
McCann making a great catch there as Huggins pads the stats.
Yeah, but that a lot of teams need run games, and a lot of teams need that stretch player.
See, and as much as you respect that the Surf, picked back in that first round, they also missed out on another guy like Cameron Reed, who was still there for the taking, who's got elite speed and has clearly got the potential to be a #1 receiver at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got it. Is that Hendricks in for a touchdown?
Oh,
No,
they stopped him on the
scored.
1-inch line.
It's been tight end city tonight for the Surf. Taking a timeout here, I don't understand really why.
He stood up there and he was like, really, guys, you couldn't let me fall forward 2 inches into this end zone.
Let's see what they do here. Huggins, 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Shotgun set. He's got McCann in the backfield. Huggins just fires it out hits the goalpost.
All the times he's taken off and ran this game, with his old man legs.
Yeah, he actually had a
3
lane.
or 4 yards. That's the time you should have done it, man.
Instead, he's playing target practice. Throws it. Oh, Hendricks almost. No, it's not Hendricks. Buckner, I believe, almost pulling it in there. Staying in the shotgun. They're determined to get a touchdown here.
I don't understand this. You're one of the strongest run games in the league, and you haven't ran it once. As they finally...
And it's Tyreek Little again, his 3rd touchdown of the game. The only player for the Honolulu Surf that seems to want to win tonight. An effort like this, absolute shame that it comes in a loss.
Yeah, he ran a little flag route right there and just caught the pass for the touchdown in the back corner. Hey, it makes it look better at the end of the game, huh?
That's right.
Little is big.
That's what I was just going to say. Little is big. I see it. Another onside kick attempt. I don't know why. Okay, sure. Oh,
hey, it's there. It's there.
Oh, man, they almost had it. They stop Owens at the 50.
It was just sitting there like somebody pick me up.
Man, it's like they greased that ball. Nobody wanted to touch it for a second.
The coach, you see the coach there talking on his headset. He's got to be like, what the hell was happening?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Obviously, you're not going to lose this game, but what the heck? Get Wiley his next 13 yards.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yard game. They're gonna nil it once, run it once, and then nil it again, and the game will be over.
See if Honolulu even bothers to take the timeout here. I don't know that they will. Jenkins in the shotgun, letting the clock almost expire. Hands it off to Owens, who gets up the right side for a 1st down, and that is all she wrote.
See, if that would have been Wiley, that would have been your 100 yards, buddy. Should have been in on the play.
This crowd is starting to party like it's payday.
That's ball game.
Stanley